In the 1970s, a shadow stalked California's suburbs, raping and murdering in silence. The Golden State Killer's secrets, unmasked by DNA. Can you face the end? Seekers of the dark, welcome to Pretty Little Deaths. I'm your guide, where the night reveals the darkest secrets of true crime, histories, buried horrors. Tonight, we unravel the Golden State Killer's silent terror, a decade of rage that shattered lives, ending in a shocking reveal. If this world pulls you in, let's dive deeper. Stay with us. Like this to light our path through the shadows. Subscribe to keep these haunting stories alive for us all. Tell me in the comments, where are you from? What time is it? And what's your darkest fantasy you've never told anyone? Confess below. Share with a fellow seeker, take a breath, and let's step into the abyss. The clock is ticking. Let's begin. Part 1. The 1970s in California are a time of golden dreams and hidden nightmares, where the sun-kissed suburbs of Sacramento hide a predator who moves like a ghost through the night, his presence a chill that seeps into the bones of a community unaware of the storm brewing. It begins in the quiet neighborhoods of Visalia, a small town nestled in the San Joaquin Valley, where homes with manicured lawns and white picket fences become stages for a series of burglaries that escalate into something far more sinister. The Visalia ransacker, as he's dubbed by the press, starts with petty thefts, silverware, jewelry, odd trinkets, but his intrusions carry a disturbing intimacy, items rearranged, underwear scattered, a sense of violation that lingers long after he's gone. By 1974, the ransacker has struck over 100 homes, his boldness growing with each break-in, his footprint a whisper in the dark. But in December 1975, the shadow deepens. Claude Snelling, a journalism professor with a protective heart, hears a noise outside his daughter's window. He rushes out, confronting a masked figure trying to abduct his 16-year-old Elizabeth, and in a flash of gunfire, Snelling falls dead, a bullet to his chest, the ransacker fleeing into the night. The murder sends shockwaves through Visalia, the community reeling from the realization that their burglar is now a killer, his rage evolving into a deadly force. Police scramble, their lanterns casting frantic beams through the fog of uncertainty. But the ransacker vanishes, his trail cold, leaving a town to wonder if the darkness has swallowed him or if he's biding his time. The ransacker's disappearance from Visalia in 1975 aligns with a new horror emerging in Sacramento, where affluent suburbs become targets for rapes echoing his earlier crimes. The East Area Rapist, as he's called, strikes with chilling precision, scouting homes for days, knowing when husbands are away, slipping in through unlocked windows or pried doors, his gloved hands leaving no trace. His victims, women in their 20s and 30s, wake to a flashlight in their eyes, a masked figure binding them with shoelaces, his voice a whisper of threats as he assaults them. The attacks are psychological warfare, stacking plates on husbands' backs to alert him if they move, his calm a terror in itself. By 1976, he's claimed over 10 victims, his pattern escalating, his rage a controlled fire burning brighter. Police connect the dots to Visalia, the MO too similar, but the fog of distance hides the truth. The community panics, women buying guns, men installing alarms, yet the rapist adapts, his intelligence a weapon as sharp as his knife. What drives this shadow? The fog hides his face, but his rage leaves scars, and a trail that will one day lead to justice. Pause here. What do you think sparked his deadly turn? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's uncover the shadows together. Part 2. The East Area Rapist's reign of terror tightens its grip on Sacramento in 1977, his attacks growing bolder with each moonlit night. No longer content with solitary victims, he targets couples now, slipping into homes under the cover of darkness, his masked face a specter of dread. Husbands are bound with their own belts, gagged with torn cloth, forced to listen as he assaults their wives. His whispered threats a venom that seeps into their souls. He stacks dishes on their backs, a cruel game. If they shift, the crash alerts him, his knife glinting in the dim light as a silent promise of death. By mid-1977, he's claimed over 20 victims, his pattern a relentless escalation, each crime a brushstroke on a canvas of fear. The community trembles, fear etched into every locked door and sleepless night. Women form neighborhood watches, their voices trembling as they share stories of his cunning, how he disables phones, knows their routines, vanishes without a trace. Police pour resources into the case, their task force combing through hundreds of tips, but the rapist's intelligence outsmarts them, his gloves leaving no fingerprints, his mask no face. Then, in a chilling twist, he begins calling his victims days later, his voice a low taunt, reciting details only the attacker would know, where they hid their keys, what they whispered in terror. Is this arrogance or a game? The fog of Sacramento hides his identity, but his psychological scars deepen with every call. As 1978 dawns, the East Area Rapist expands his hunting grounds, moving south to Stockton and Modesto, his rage a wildfire spreading across California. The murders begin. 2 couples found slain in their homes, their bodies cold by morning, the scenes a brutal tableau linking back to Visalia's ransacker days. In one home, a young couple lies bound, the husband shot, the wife strangled, a window left ajar as he arrives. His calling card. In another, a couple's blood stains the carpet, their last moments a silent scream frozen in time. The police connect these killings to the rapes, the MO a chilling thread, burglary turning to rape, then murder, a signature evolving with each strike. The Golden State Killer, as the press now dubs him, emerges from the shadows, his crimes a blend of stealth, violence, and terror. The investigation intensifies, but the killer's elusiveness grows. He leaves subtle clues, stolen coins, rearranged photos, but no DNA. No clear suspect in an era blind to forensic advances. The task force maps his movements, noting his shift from rapist to murderer, yet the fog of his identity thickens. Families arm themselves, but the fear persists, a shadow that darkens every suburban street. What fuels this monster's rage, this predator who turns homes into graves? The answer lies buried in the past, a trail of breadcrumbs leading to a breakthrough yet to come. What do you think drives his deadly evolution? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's peel back the darkness together. Part 3. The Golden State Killer's reign stretches into 1979, his shadow darkening the California coast as he shifts his focus southward, striking in Santa Barbara and Orange County with a ferocity that leaves investigators reeling. The murders escalate, couples found in pools of blood, homes turned into slaughterhouses, the air thick with the scent of fear and despair. In one chilling scene, a young couple lies dead in their bed. The husband shot through the heart, the wife strangled with her own scarf, a single ligature mark hinting at his methodical cruelty. Another home reveals a similar fate. 2 lovers silenced forever, their last moments marked by a broken lamp and a window left open, his signature taunt to the world. The press dubs him the Night Stalker in early reports, a name that sticks until the broader moniker emerges, but the terror is unmistakable. Police scramble to connect the dots, their task force swelling with detectives from multiple counties, each crime scene a puzzle piece in a growing mosaic of horror. They note the consistency, bindings with shoelaces, stolen trinkets, the psychological torment of phone calls. But the killer's adaptability keeps them at bay. He varies his methods, sometimes using guns, sometimes knives, his intelligence a shield against capture. The community lives in dread, curfews imposed, streetlights dimmed by fear, yet he strikes again, his rage a wildfire that spares no one. A survivor emerges from one attack, her voice trembling as she describes a masked man with a chilling calm, his flashlight a beacon of doom, her escape a rare victory in a sea of loss. The investigation hits a wall, the killer's trail growing cold as 1980 approaches. Forensic technology lags, fingerprints smudged or absent, DNA a distant dream. The task force theorizes a single mind behind the chaos, but whispers of accomplices surface. Could his bold Nivabaris hint at help? The fog of uncertainty thickens, each unanswered question a weight on the investigator's shoulders. Families mourn, their grief a silent cry for justice, while the Golden State Killer fades into the night, his crimes a scar on California's history. What do you think? Did he act alone, or was there a hidden partner? Drop your guess in the comments, and let's unravel this nightmare together. Part 4. The 1980s dawn with the Golden State Killer's terror showing no signs of fading, his shadow creeping into Southern California's quieter towns where the illusion of safety shatters with each new strike. In Goleta, a couple awakens to a masked intruder, the husband bound and beaten, the wife assaulted in a room filled with the echoes of their pleas, only to be found dead hours later, their home a silent tomb. Another attack in Irvine follows, a young woman alone, her screams cut short as he slips away, leaving behind a single earring as a mocking clue. The pattern persists, meticulous planning, psychological torment, and a vanishing act that defies the growing police presence, his rage now a force of nature across the state. The task force, stretched thin across counties, begins to see a web of connections, their maps dotted with red pins marking his crimes from Visalia to Ventura. They analyze the escalation, burglaries to rapes, rapes to murders, each phase a step in a predator's evolution, yet the lack of concrete evidence frustrates their efforts. Witnesses recall a man of average build, sometimes on a bicycle, sometimes in a car, but the descriptions blur into a faceless phantom. The phone calls continue, a voice taunting victims with intimate details, suggesting a mind that revels in control, his intelligence a weapon that keeps him steps ahead. The community's fear hardens into resolve, vigils held under flickering streetlights, but the killer adapts, his silence a louder threat than ever. By 1986, the attacks slow, the Golden State Killer seemingly retreating into the fog, his last known murder a chilling punctuation to a decade of horror. A couple in Irvine falls victim, their deaths a grim echo of earlier crimes, but then silence. Police theorize he's moved, died, or been incarcerated for unrelated crimes, yet the absence of closure gnaws at them. The tight rail grows cold. The evidence, a few fibers, a partial shoe print, too sparse to crack the case. Families cling to hope, their grief a fuel for justice, while the killer's shadow lingers, a question mark in the night. What do you think stopped his spree? Capture, death, or something darker? Share your theory in the comments and let's chase the truth together. Part 5. The silence following the Golden State Killer's last strike in 1986 hangs heavy over California, a deceptive calm that masks the unresolved terror etched into the state's psyche. For years, the case gathers dust in police archives. The task force disbanded, its members haunted by the faces of victims they couldn't save. The public moves on, but the families don't. Their grief a quiet flame, their pleas for justice echoing in cold case files. The evidence, once a fleeting hope, sits untouched. Shoe prints, fibers, a single earring, clues that whisper of a killer who vanished into the ordinary world, perhaps living among them. The fog of time thickens, each unanswered question a weight on the hearts of those left behind. In the 1990s, a flicker of hope emerges as forensic science advances, but the case remains dormant. The DNA technology of the era too primitive to extract answers from the sparse samples. Investigators revisit old leads, suspect interviews, anonymous tips, but the trail is cold, the killer's identity buried in a sea of possibilities. The community begins to forget, the Golden State Killer's name fading into urban legend, yet the victims' stories linger, their pain a thread connecting past to present. Amateur sleuths take up the mantle, scouring newspapers and police reports, their forums buzzing with theories. Could he be a cop, a neighbor, a phantom of the night? The fog hides his face, but the scars he left demand resolution. By the early 2000s, the case gains new life with the rise of genetic genealogy, a tool that promises to pierce the darkness. Detectives collect DNA from crime scenes preserved in evidence lockers and turn to public databases, hoping a relative's profile might reveal the killer. The process is slow, fraught with legal battles over privacy, but the hope grows. Could this be the breakthrough that ends decades of silence? The community watches, their breath held, as the investigation edges closer to a name, a face, a reckoning. What do you think? Will science finally unmask this shadow? Drop your hope in the comments and let's edge toward the light together. Part 6. The early 2010s bring a glimmer of progress to the Golden State Killer case as genetic genealogy transforms from a novel concept into a powerful weapon against the past. Detectives armed with DNA samples from the 1970s and 80s crime scenes partner with private labs to scour public genealogy databases, tracing familial DNA matches with painstaking precision. The evidence begins to weave a web, shoe prints and fibers link to a suspect pool, phone call patterns suggest a methodical mind, and the earring becomes a haunting clue pointing to a personal vendetta. By 2017, the net tightens, a distant relative's profile leading investigators to a quiet suburb in Citrus Heights, California, where a retired man lives an unassuming life. The breakthrough comes in April 2018, a moment that shatters the fog of decades. Police arrest Joseph James DeAngelo, a 72-year-old former police officer, his DNA a match to the crime scenes that defined a killer's reign. The community gasps, how could a cop hide such darkness? Interrogations reveal a chilling confession. 13 murders, over 50 rapes, and countless burglaries, a spree that spanned a decade under multiple aliases: Visalia ransacker, East Area rapist, Golden State Killer. The twist emerges. His police training honed his evasion, yet his own family's silence may have shielded him, raising questions of complicity. The dots connect: his knowledge of police tactics, the timing of his crimes, the sudden halt in 1986, when he married and settled. The investigation unfolds further, revealing a man who lived a double life. By day a mechanic, by night a monster. His rage fueled by a broken engagement in his youth, a personal wound that turned public. Victims and families confront him in court, their tears a mix of relief and rage, the emotional climax a bittersweet victory as he pleads guilty in 2020, sentenced to life without parole. Why? The fog lingers. Did he act alone, or were there unseen partners? The science offers closure, but the human cost leaves a scar. What do you think? Could others have helped him escape for so long? Share your insight in the comments, and let's reflect on this twisted tale together. Part 7. The courtroom falls silent as Joseph James DeAngelo, the Golden State Killer, stands shackled, his confession a whisper that echoes through the years of terror he unleashed. In 2020, at 74, he faces the families of his victims, their eyes a storm of grief, anger, and a fragile hope for closure. His plea, Guilty to 13 murders, over 50 rapes, and a trail of burglaries, unravels the mystery, the DNA evidence a golden thread that ties his suburban life to the nightmares of the 1970s and 80s. The twist hits hard. His police training and family's silence, perhaps unaware, perhaps complicit, allowed him to vanish into plain sight, raising a chilling question: did others know? The climax builds as survivors speak, their voices trembling with the weight of survival, their stories a testament to resilience against a monster who once seemed invincible. The emotional payoff unfolds as the community exhales, justice served after 40 years, yet the victory feels incomplete. D'Angelo's sentencing to life without parole brings a sigh of relief, but the scars remain, families reunited in mourning, the lost innocence of California's suburbs a haunting memory. The fog lifts slightly with this resolution, but a new mystery emerges. Could an accomplice have aided his escape, or were his crimes a solitary descent into madness? Modern sleuths ponder, their 2025 analyses hinting at unresolved threads, keeping the legend alive. The Golden State Killer's reign ends, but his shadow lingers, a reminder of humanity's dual nature. Seekers, this tale closes with a bittersweet note. Justice met, yet questions endure. Like this video to honor the survivors, subscribe to Journey Through More Shadows, and tell me in the comments, where are you from, and what does this resolution mean to you? Share with a friend who craves the dark, and let's keep the light of truth burning. The night never fully fades until our next story.